And I know every year we always talk about how defenses, they slowly figure out how to stop offenses. And, it took a few years to stop the Chiefs offense with the too high safety look, which, making us, matriculating the ball down the field a little more. And with this new offense, this new look, kind of being more on time than we've seen in the past, how long do you think it's going to take for defenses to adjust to this offense that we have? Or is it just kind of too hard to adjust to this offense with so many weapons out there?
Well, you know what? I don't think you could use a gimmick. Obviously playing a too high shell was different because you had Tyreek Hill because he was doing a lot of passing down the field, a lot of deep passes. This right here, if you try to double Kelce, right, which I think obviously what defense is trying to do because he's going to kill you. Mm-hmm. You leave everybody else open. You leave them one-on-one, and you just leave people in zone. And so, what do you do? You got to play your standard defense. The thing is, when I'm looking at this, I'm betting on my guy being better than your guy. I'm betting on Juju being better than your corner or better than your linebacker. I'm betting on Hardman being better than your corner or your linebacker, your safety. Same thing with MVS. Then you got Sky Moore. And then, of course, if we're doing one-on-one in the pass game with one of the running backs, I mean, you hit over the head. And so I just it's hard as far as like how do you deal with the Chiefs offense? The best answer to me, what a defense could do is just pass rush and pressure, trying to get Patrick off his game a little bit. I think if you try to do that, then you may have a chance to at least disrupt some of the timing, getting the ball out to some guys. And I think it's going to be a good challenge this week because we know they got incredible guys on the outfield outside who's going to be coming off the ball. And so Mac and Bosa, man, those guys are going to be incredible, man. But if you are able to stop that and stifle that pass rush, then Patrick's going to hit him over the head again. And so I think that's the key of it. The key is, stopping Patrick. If you don't stop Patrick, everybody else is going to be open. And so he's just going to be able to pick you apart, man. I mean, he took his defense out like Swiss cheese. I mean, he was just dotting the I's. I mean, he was almost literally perfect almost the entire first half. Seriously.
Yeah. This game this week is a step up in class, certainly, when you got Bosa, Mack, and Derwin James and some of these guys they have over there on that defense. But listen, Andy Reid's one of the great game planners in NFL history. And then you obviously mix that in with the best quarterback in pro football. I wouldn't worry about too much of someone catching up to the Chiefs. Certainly there's going to be games where teams have a good beat on them or a good game plan and stifle them, but strength versus strength, right? Yeah. The Chargers D-line against the Chiefs O-line. And those tackles are going to get tested Thursday night. But, I mean, when 15's back there, I can't say enough superlatives about him. I mean, the guy's incredible. I don't think we've seen anyone like him. No. You're going to run man, he's going to tear you up. You're going to run zone, you have no shot. You just have to mix in and disguise coverages and try and confuse Mahomes, which is hard to do because he's obviously a very intelligent guy. But we'll see as the season goes along. There's going to be games maybe where there's a slip up or a bad game plan or vice versa, or somebody plays well or turnovers or injury. But, I mean, this team is really good. I don't want to put too much pressure on them, but, I mean, I expect them to win. They're going to be favored probably in every game they play.
Look, LT, and this is what I'm seeing, and you probably see the same thing. And I don't think people quite get it in their head because sometimes when I hear a lot of just the negative talk on Patrick Mahomes and whatnot, I don't think they quite understand his greatness, as far as his ability. And sometimes when people try to be dismissive of the things he's doing because he's unorthodox in his throwing and maybe he's making a play, I heard Skip say some things, and of course all the other analysts are making these negative statements about him. But I always look at it like this, and I'll let you, kind of talk about it. But when Patrick is making those throws, in his head, he knows he can make them. Like, he's already figuring out this guy is not fast enough or he's not quick enough to jump the ball to knock this ball down. Like, he's taking a chance because in his mind, it's 100% going to be successful, right? Or you just don't take it, correct? And so
he's not just playing. He's not just out there playing backyard football, which sometimes it looks like it.
Right.
He just has so much confidence in his ability to make those throws.
Yes.
And the thing I think I respect most about Mahomes is, as good as he is, he keeps receipts.
Yes.
He keeps receipts. And when you got a dude that is that good, that plays with a chip on his shoulder, which that's hard to do, right? $500 million contract, all the money in the world, all the success in the world. He plays with a Tom Brady-esque type chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me because he should be the number one ranked player every year by players on the NFL Network. He's not. He wasn't this year. Right. And then I saw another list, and I'm sure he saw it, where they ranked like 3 or 4 quarterbacks ahead of him.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Like Allen and what's his name, Herbert, and then
Joe Burrow, probably.
They're not.
No.
They're not. But listen, keep fueling him. Because that's what I love the most about 15 is he plays with a chip on his shoulder. And that would be hard to do if I was as good as him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but he does. He finds a way to self-motivate, and that's why he's great. That's why it's clear-cut. He's the best quarterback in the game. It's not even close.
So basically we tell you, haters, y'all keep hating. You know, keep bringing all the fire to him, right?
I guarantee you he loves it. He does. He's a different cat. Like, he's a different dude. Yeah. And that's what makes him great.
You know, it's crazy. I seen I think Pro Football Focus had him, I think, like the 8th best, like, I don't know, like performances.
Oh, after week 1.
Yeah. I'm like, what game are y'all watching? How are y'all measuring and quantifying what he just did out on the football field? I don't understand. Is it just arbitrarily going out there?
I was a subscriber to Pro Football Focus because I covered the Giants for my podcast, and I wanted to go in there and see who graded out high, who didn't grade out high.
Yeah,
man, it's just too hard to understand because they don't understand what a player is supposed to do on a certain play. So it's really hard to say this guy played well, this guy played poorly. So I stopped that subscription, but people believe it is the Bible. They do. Because like I would go watch the all 22 film, and then I would look at the Pro Football Focus grade, and I'd be like, man, this dude was not a 38. Like, that's really low. And I'm like, man, he played well. He maybe gave up some pressures, but so that whole thing is a farce. But again, it's just another thing that's going to fuel Mahomes to kick your teeth in on Sundays or Thursdays. So yeah.
I just, to me, for the life of me, like I said, I think it's just arbitrarily just picking the way that how you want to measure a guy, right? Well, you know, he didn't have the right shoes on. Maybe that's taking. Is that
It's I think it has some level of what's the word? I don't even know the word I'm trying to say, but to me, it serves a purpose of some sort. But man, people think it's the Bible out there. But the guys who all played all have comments about it, but the people who don't play think it's the Bible. So
it's the numbers that get you and all that, like the whole,
they do a good job.
Analytics.
They do a good job with the colors and the market. They do a really good job with the cool numbers and you get green if you played well, red if you sucked. I don't know. It's like, I was a subscriber for 2 years and they took my $250 every year. So it's not cheap.
Yeah.
I think they had Ryan Tannehill ahead of him this week. They had a few. And I think because someone had commented on the main grader, and they said, what goes into this? I mean, he goes, so he cited the CEH touchdown. He goes, anybody could have made that throw. It wasn't like a hard throw that a special quarterback had to make. And then also the one where he threw up the pass, and he said he had an almost interception, which they grade as an interception. The one where he threw up to it was Juju in the back of the end zone, and Juju had to break it up.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to throw 50-50 balls back there.
Right. Right.
Let your guy go make a play. You can't say that's a pick. It wasn't a pick.
Yeah.
If my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle. I mean, geez, what are we doing? God. All right.
And someone brought up the Buffalo Bills because Josh Allen had that one pick where it went in and out of the receiver's hands, and they said that wasn't on him. But then someone cited last year when Mahomes had 1 million interceptions where it was coming off his receiver's hands, and PFF wasn't, was grading him low for those.
I would like to see another category for that because, Daniel Jones catches a lot of heat in New York, but I bet you half the picks last year were in and out of a receiver's hands. And I think there needs to be a special category for that for quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I agree with you. But see, it'd be difficult because
it'd be all judgment.
Yeah, it is. It is because it's like, well, if Allen had put the ball on his outside, then it wouldn't even been a question if he bobbled or whatever for it to be an inside, right? Like, hey, throw it to the outside where it's not even a chance, right? So I don't know, but I agree with you. All that stuff, man, is, to be honest with you, man, is subjective.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think some Chief fans think there's a little bit bias. There's a little bit anti-Mahomes bias with the PFF guys. I don't know. It's analytics though, so it can't be a bias.
We'll let his brother handle him.
Yeah. Hi everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.